Hey guys, right, so I'm doing this video today just to document my resolution in a way, or my frustration with the chamfer modifiers in 3ds Max. And now I've been having these issues with chamfers for a very long time, and I'm not sure if it's an issue with the chamfer itself. I've spoken to people on Stack in the Facebook group, and I think Stack is the best resource for a community in 3ds Max, and even they say it's the way that 3ds Max calculates chamfers that gives us the problems. Anyway, so let me just walk you through what I'm trying to achieve. So let's hide this, and I've got a little reference model here that I'm taking pictures of and I'm trying to model. Let's just hide my model. So this is a part for a digger that I'm trying to replicate, and I will replicate this eventually, but my problem is multiple chamferings. Now I got the main chamfers already there, which was these corners, this, and this, and I also have a little curve in the middle. Now people are saying I need to restart the model and start with the largest chamfers and go down to smaller chamfers. Now that's pretty much what I already done, except maybe the outer edge will be the largest chamfer, but the problem is I believe it's high polygon chamfers. So I'm gonna duplicate this to make sure I get back to the, so I am pretty happy with this, although I have overlapping detail here and area I need to fix here. This is as best as I'm gonna get it now, but the only way to actually achieve this is I'll show you how I got it to this state. Okay, so I got one back up and I'm gonna work on this one. So I'm gonna collapse this so that my minimum angle loop extension gets recognized. So if I go into my edges and select this is obviously the edge that I want to chamfer. No, that's the wrong one. Hold on, let's select this one, loop it. Yep, okay, that's the whole edge selected. Now by default, let me show you what happens. So I'd rather use this chamfer modifier than the chamfer within the edge selection, because I like it in my stack of modifiers. So let's go to the chamfer. Now I want it around 3.5. That goes crazy. Now the reason for that is, I believe, well, I'm pretty sure, is because of all these excess edges and the vertices aren't aligned with one another. So I'm gonna have to align them. So let's go back to chamfer, and let me just show you what's going on first. So you can see that at first, if we have a small amount, it is fine. It's when they start overlapping the other edges, then we start getting problems. So that clearly means that we have excess detail that we want to get rid of first to make room for the new shape, which is a bit annoying. It'd be great if it done it automatically. So you see, like, it is fine up to like the minimal point, and then as soon as it starts overlapping edges, it gives us issues. And I found that it's not just the edges, it's the excess vertices that it leaves over as well. So before we do that, I'm going to invert the selection of the edges. So I'm going to hold shift, and once I'm in edge selection, I just do that, and you see that actual main edge gets deselected. But I don't want to get rid of these edges for now. I'm going to undo it, and let's just have a look at our reference. So our reference is this. Let's go to edges again, and as far as I remember, it's around 3.5 centimeters that I want to get rid of. So remember, I'm holding shift, and I'm going to get rid of around, I'd say that much. I'm going to undo it again and hold shift, and remember, it's inverted that edge, so that edge will still be there when I get rid of it. But, and I mentioned again, I don't want to get rid of these, so I'm going to alt select and deselect them. So I only have those edges that I want to remove. So now that they're selected, I go to my edit edges and click on remove. Now the polygons are still there, so let's get rid of them as well. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not what I wanted to do. What I actually wanted to do is only get rid of the lines, the upper lines, but I want to keep the horizontal lines as far as I remember. That's right. And loop it. But we're going to keep those horizontal lines. Now, this isn't exactly a tutorial that I'm making for you guys. This is actually more for me as a way to document my struggles and so that I remember my resolution next time. Or if you can guys comment on my struggles and tell me how to resolve issues like this in the future. So the mistake that I made, I was going to delete all the edges, but we don't want to do that. Why is that? Why don't we want to do that? Let me just remember. It's because if we bridge, so say we got rid of all those polygons here, then we bridge it, the bridges is going to become crooked because we have so many excess vertices here. You see that? And that was caused when I booleaned this shape, because if we look at it from the side, look, it's not a straight side. It's got a specific shape that I wanted. So go back to edges. I'm losing a bit of track of what I'm doing because I'm trying to tell you guys tell you multiple things. So let me just backtrack to what I'm doing. Let me go to different selection tool. I'm gonna select it like this instead. So the thing with 3ds Max, although I usually get there in the end when modeling, I am far from a pro. Like I would still say I'm an amateur. Like there's so many things that I don't understand. And sure, I do get a lot of people telling me that I should go back to the basics and learn the hard edge modeling, blah blah blah. But like people are telling me just to like watch like a 2-hour video on how to resolve a specific issue that I'm having. I'm not having an issue with everything. It's this specific chamfering issue that I'm having right now. I'm happy to watch more tutorials and learn from it. What's going on here? That doesn't even look right. God, I've lost track of what I'm doing because I'm talking so much. Where am I? Alright, so I'm trying to delete them. Yep. No, I don't want to delete that. Okay, so if we remove them, see, now we have room for the chamfer to move. However, there's still excess vertices. And I thought they might not get in the way, but when I try to, look, if I try to go to the edge selection, select the edge that I want to chamfer, it will still give me that same results. So we need to continue further cleaning. Let me just show you first. And I'll remember 3.5. Now there is a bit of improvement, but still messy as hell. Like you see, this is much cleaner here, but it is crazy like here at the top. That's nowhere near usable. So let's continue fixing it. So let's get rid of these excess vertices. Get rid of these, these, and I'm using to control to select more vertices, of course. If we used Alt, it would deselect, it would invert the selection, so we don't want to use that. Okay, remove these vertices, and you can see that the shape will change a little bit if we look at it from the top once we remove them, so it will lose a bit of detail in a way. You see? it becomes a perfectly straight line there. But that is fine for me because that's not where I want the detail. So the next area that we want to fix is this edge itself. So not edge, this flat surface. So I'm going to get rid of it first. Actually, I'm going to select it by angle. Let's say 30 degrees. Select it. Delete it. But there's still some left over here. Hold on. Oh no, there isn't. That's fine. What's that though? Looks a bit odd. Where's that curve coming from? Actually, I think that'd be fine. And now I am gonna try to do this a bit of a different way. So I'm gonna try to do it like that. Move it down. That'll probably be a dodgy position though from the side. Let's see how it looks. So I think this is all about basically loops. So now it should chamfer fine because all these vertices and edges are connected. Except this is going nowhere. But let's just try it. Let's see what happens. Now it should, from my understanding, chamfer correctly because we've got nice loops. Let's just try. No, that's actually way worse. That's actually unexpected. I was actually expecting that to go better. What about if we had more segments? What's going on at the bottom? That's a mess. Yeah, that's a complete mess. What have I done? So how did it get so bad? Why is it so much worse? Okay, let's hide unselected and let's just get rid of this. Okay. From my understanding, this should actually do the chamfering fine. Actually, let's weld all vertices to make sure there's nothing, no random vertices just floating about, and they're welded together. Same with edges, edge, weld, 0.01, 0.001. That, and let's try to chamfer again, see what happens. Loop, chamfer, and as we increase it, what happens? So we're at around 3.5, let's say 5. It goes crazy here. Where is this all excess detail coming from? I don't understand, like, why is this making it so strange? Let's do it step by step. Where's that gradual detail coming from? Oh, I know why. 3.5. So maybe since we like moved and resized things, maybe we need to reset the X form, because once you resize, it's no longer true. Once you resize using, which is the resize tool, instead of units and measurements, it doesn't recognize it in millimeters and centimeters anymore. So you need to reset the X form, maybe something to do with that. So reset it. So now you see there's reset X form. So we'll go to edit polygon, and let's try it again. Maybe it will calculate it better. No, not through this method. Through a chamfer modifier. Still goes crazy. This is just bizarre to me. Okay, so another issue that it could be, so it's maybe this so you see this this vertex doesn't go anywhere. It goes from middle to the right. So it could be that. Let's try get rid of that then. All the excess ones. I hate this so much. This is just like, it doesn't explain anything to me, but just like people are telling me, just watch hard surface modeling, blah blah blah. And I know I probably sound quite rude just dismissing it, but I went through those tutorials before, all those hard surface modeling, and they're just too generic. They don't actually specifically target this actual topic with the chamfering. Okay, so I'm going to remove them one by one, and then I need to remove the excess vertices as well that are not being in use. Like this. But if I just select them all and click on remove isolated vertices, it doesn't get rid of them. Remove the unused vertices, doesn't get rid of them either, so I have to do it manually. Now I do have this Shiva vertex cleaner installed, but that doesn't work, so I have to do this manually. Fun. Let me just check if my audio is actually still recording. Yep, it is, so let's keep going. There we go, excess vertex. It doesn't go anywhere. Excess edge and vertex. Oh, we can actually just remove. Oh, but then again, it got rid of that edge, so no. We want to get rid of the edge first. Remove it. Then vertex. This is just like a right pain. Where are we? This is going to take forever, isn't it? Now the funny thing is, we could just use retopology just to fix this whole topology and fix all these issues. However, since the retopology adds detail to those sharp corners where we want to chamfer, it kind of defeats the purpose. Because then once we have excess detail, we have to remove it again. So that doesn't work either. So that's out the window. Oh, there we go. That's a lot of excess detail. Maybe that was giving us issues. Yeah, that was probably giving us issues. I'm going to skip all that. That looks fine to me. Oh, I'm going to ignore back facing. Where's ignore back facing? I really hope this solves it, because I just want to move on with this model. This model is actually really easy. It's just this stupid chamfering tool, and I can't think of any other way how to get the perfect round edges throughout the whole shape that's correct in dimensions. So I am at a bit of a loss how else I would go around doing this model without using the chamfer tool. So yeah, just to remind you guys, so these excess edges that I am removing, they were added when I used the Boolean modifier to add that curve to the side. Okay, so now it should be fine. Should. But watch me get a million issues when I try to do this again. Nope. Okay, so come on. Shit. It's so strange, like all these issues. Okay, so how can I figure this out? What could I say about this? So I know that we're having so much issues because it's a high poly model, right? But what am I supposed to do? I need those curves there. I think some people would say I should do spline modeling, perhaps. Oh, this looks good. Quad. This looks great. But the direction that is going down. So if I move these, perhaps it would influence where the chamfer needs to go. What if I just X, Y, Z thing? God, that's so strange. So, from my understanding, it's the length of those edges that are influencing the chamfer. 100%. 100%. Unless I reset Xform one more time. What if I reset Xform again? You go to edit, and then chamfer again. 3.5. Go to quad. So see, it's not honoring my input. I wanted 3.5 from this distance. So it should be 3.5. Oh god, this is so difficult to understand. Oh, quad 3.5. The tension should be around 0.5. 0.5. 5. No effect. No, don't have to do that. Mitering. Oh, look at this. This is good. So mitering must mean the distances, how the distances are calculated, I believe. Corner options, quad. Uniform. Look at that. Oh yeah, the try is doing that corner perfectly now. It's very interesting. I am very happy with this shape actually now. Let's get more segments, maybe 10. This is really good now. I think I'm going to leave it like that, and that I can clean up easily. This is still different corners here, much better than this. So I was right in terms of because of having excess detail. But another thing how chamfer is calculated, I believe, is in the distances of these edges. So for example, this edge is probably like, well, I have no way of measurement, but I say this is 6 centimeters, and then maybe this one is like 4 centimeters. So they, I think, need to be all even. Now, how would I do that? Very interesting. But I'm going to leave it at that for now, because this is a good way for me to learn more about this. So yeah, I'm going to stop recording the screen. Okay, so just to quickly add on to the previous video, I did come up with another method of how to calculate the edges from this. Instead of using a border to resize it, I thought, let's try this. So let's get rid of all them first. So by selection, not the bottom, delete that, not delete that, just deselect it, and we're going to delete it, and let's cap it. Let's cap this whole edge. You see we've got a flat edge here. It's not really flat, although like you can see there's imperfections in the triangulations. Well, the point is, so now we've got a polygon here, right? So to calculate the exact, to extrude or to add another edge that's inside at the exact same distance from this edge, let's first reset the X form one more time, add an edit poly, go back to edges, no, polygon, select the polygon, and then inset. And then you can see that the edges calculated are the exact same. However, we have that same issue here. There's no limit. And there's an issue here as well. But that does give us an exact distance. But I'm not sure how to resolve these edges, because they're giving us the same issue as before. What if I just do it to the max? Well, obviously that won't work, because we want to inset it more than we need to chamfer, so around 4, because we're going to chamfer 3.5, right? But what if we do this? So before, as a test, I done this, I selected them and I X, Y, Z, so they're all in the same location, but it gave me edges, it gave me issues with the shape. For example, if I just show you this now, so I go to edge selection, ignore this bottom edge, and if I go back to that chamfer modifier, you'll see what happens. I get the same issue that I had before, which is 3.5, and then try, say 10 segments. So see, that's imperfect. Look at that, because they are not following that curve. All those vertices are meeting in one circle, so they're not flowing. This is flowing nicely, except this area. This issues because we have all those vertices just randomly like that. So this is nice, this area. But when we have vertices overlapping each other and edges, then we get issues. So what can I do? So this isn't exactly a solution. I mean, which one's better? This one's definitely better. This one's better here. So what is the right solution? What if we pull it in? Well, if we put it in, it actually does become neater. Clear them all. an issue here. Got to get rid. Remember, we need to remove that edge, get rid of it, remove that vertex. And we're having issues with this edge as well. Let's remove that. So now we won't have a bottom. And let's get rid of this polygon altogether, maybe. Delete it. Delete it. And what's this? Don't want that. Right, so just trying to neat it up first. Things that make sense to me first, so get rid of this. I don't even remember how they got there. Okay. So back to these. Don't wanna zero these out. Nope. I'll leave one here for reference. No. Actually, they should end up at this crossover. So let's have one for reference that we can place. Yep. And then the rest I'm gonna XYZ. XYZ. So now they're all in one place. But obviously that's gonna give us issues. And same here, let's put one as a reference point. So it should be here. Select them all. X, Y, Z. Put it on that one. And now, what if I just made it flow a bit better? So view it from the side. So it follows the curve a little bit more. There's no following curve here at all. So maybe that is the problem, because it's not following a curve. So what if that probably is the problem, isn't it? Because it's just such a sudden square. Maybe it's not that all the vertices meet at a point. That is the issue. This is tricky to figure out how to do this properly. Okay. So how do I resolve this? Let's just try something else then. So I think that the issue is not because they're all meeting at one point. It's because there's such a sharp angle. It must be that. Oh. More back face. I'll get rid of them. Okay, let's go. I don't want to get rid of them because I want to reference. So I'm going to pull them out. On this side. Wait, where are we? Sure, I just selected it, didn't I? The hell? Okay, there we go. I selected. Where's my selection tool? Strange. Strange, my selection tool disappeared. Okay. Okay, now we're here again. So I was thinking, okay, that is a shape that we want. I mean, this is all manual work. I'm sure there's got to be a better way to do this, because this is just a nightmare. Okay, something like that. And I'm going to delete those other lines. And I'm going to attach them manually. So let's this, bridge, this. And I need to do the same with this side as well. So it's got to be not the, like I said, I'm going to repeat this 20 times so I memorize this because it makes perfect sense now to me. So that, delete, deselect. Yep, delete. Nope. Don't want to delete that just yet, because I want them to be like a reference position of where I'm going to go. Okay. Then pull them out again. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to delete that. So I think what would help me as a beginner would be a better inset option that doesn't overlap. What's going on here? Why is it not bridging them? Where's my bridge? Oops. What the hell? This, that, bridge. Okay, there we go. Got a nice bridge. So as I was saying, what would help me as an amateur would be a better inset tool that doesn't overlap what? 1 second, I'm just focusing. Multiple things. This position is quite off. Okay, and this is the last one that I think needs to be fixed. That doesn't overlap. Doesn't overlap what? Doesn't overlap other edges. I think that's what I was trying to say. So better polygon inset and a chamfer tool that does all the work for you, rather than having to do everything manually. Because this is a big waste of time. Okay, so that. Okay, that. Now would I need to do this? Can I just resize it? Surely that should have the same principle. Now if this didn't work, I'll be pissed. Alright, so I'm going to weld all these vertices. Select, weld, 0.01. I'm going to save it just in case. And then go back to edges. Loop it where I need to get rid of the chamfer, convert to editable poly, so that my minimum angle loops gets loaded. Loop it, and then chamfer. Where's my chamfer? Chamfer. Try, or is it quad? 3.5, 10. I mean, sure, that's better, but no, look at that. But then again, I resized this. No, I'm still not happy with that curve. Quad, definitely not. Try. Uniform, definitely not. I still prefer this one. This one's... Do I? I don't know. I can't tell. Which one calculates it better, do you think? I've got issues here, actually. I'm going to go with this one. This has got to be a better calculation than this. And then I could just sort out this by joining it. Yeah. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. This is a nightmare.